What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D River. Hey, today we're gonna be reacting to the story of the one and only Shield born Jon Moxley, or you can call him Dean Ambrose. But Jon Moxley. First time coming across my channel, make sure you go ahead and scroll down for me real quick. Hit that subscribe button real quick. I'm trying to hit 5K before the end of the year. Almost at 3K. I'm trying to hit 5K before the end of the year, and I can't do it without you. So if you got any friends, family members, dog, cat, fish, hamster, bird, I don't care, have them subscribe. Got any videos you want me to react to in particular, make sure you go ahead and put it in the comments down below. Not send me any videos that are inappropriate. As long as it's appropriate, I will react to it. People that have sent me videos know that because I have already reacted to their videos. If you requested a video before, I already reacted to it. Like, every video that y'all tell me to react to, I react to it. Too easy. Y'all know not to send me nothing inappropriate, so keep it that way. Yeah, I really like this little story time series. So continue to bring it. Let me know who y'all want next, and if I can find it, let me know who y'all want next. We'll bring it. Down below are 3 different platforms. Follow me on TikTok. I don't really care if you follow me on Instagram, but TikTok, I just hit 2K on TikTok, so continue to follow me on TikTok. TikTok is down below, as you can see. So follow me on TikTok. I know like 95% of y'all have TikTok. I'm saying Alec, you don't. Also, we'll be doing a giveaway on Twitch. When? You'll know if you follow me on Twitch. Just saying. You won't know when it's gonna be unless you follow me on Twitch. I'm not gonna tell you what the item of the giveaway is gonna be. I'm not gonna tell you. Find out. Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. Been jumping on Twitch lately too. So yeah, that's down below. Twitch name is down below. So yeah, that's easy. But let's go ahead and get this video started. Jon Moxley, the story.
AEW's first ever pay-per-view, Double or Nothing 2019, Jon Moxley shocked the wrestling world by making his first appearance in AEW in front of the Las Vegas crowd. Speculation was rife about him showing up in AEW because of the tweet that WWE sent out saying that he won't renew his contract, and his vignette that he posted on the internet of him breaking out of prison. And just for the record, thank God he left WWE. But ever since Jon Moxley has been in AEW, he has carried AEW on his back and has been one of the most important flag bearers for the wrestling revolution. And he has proved that he bleeds AEW's black, white, and gold. And it seems like Jon Moxley was made for AEW, and AEW was made for Jon Moxley. Well, that's still a better love story than Twilight. But anyway, as soon as Jon Moxley showed up in AEW, he almost immediately entered into a feud with Kenny Omega. And their first altercation was at Double or Nothing with Moxley and Omega.
I still don't know anything about Kenny Omega, so I need somebody to educate me on Kenny Omega. I know nothing about it. They have a video about Kenny Omega like this. Y'all gotta like this video for me to react to it. It's a pretty long, like 40 minutes to react to it. I gotta like this video first. If I don't like this video, I'm not gonna.
Brawling all their way through the crowd, and Moxley throwing Omega off poker chips. And Moxley stood over Omega with the lights beaming on him to end the pay-per-view in a hue of glory. Jon Moxley's assault of Kenny Omega then crossed over to the very first episode of AEW's Dynamite on October 2nd, where this is basically what happened.
I seen that clip before.
Seeing Jon Moxley paradigm shift Kenny Omega through glass left everyone going crazy, as it was the first taste of the glorious ultraviolence that AEW is known for today that is so addictive. Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega's feud was supposed to culminate in a lights out match at AEW's All Out 2019, but unfortunately Jon Moxley suffered a staph infection on his elbow due to excessive use. So this match was called off. Jon Moxley's injury was in due part to him wrestling close to 20 matches in about 28 days in New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 2019, which took place prior to All Out 2019. And the fact that this injury happened in this manner added more fuel to the fire, because Kenny Omega basically spinned it into an angle that Jon Moxley was just trying to copy him and do the same things that he's done, seeing that Kenny Omega was the winner of the G1 Climax in 2016. And Jon Moxley's angle on Kenny Omega was that Kenny Omega was just a myth and he was going to dispel that myth. And so after many great segments and brawls, Jon Moxley's and Kenny Omega's feud culminated in the first ever lights out match at AEW's Full Gear 2019. And this match was mine and many other people's first introduction to hardcore wrestling. And it was a brutal and bloody affair, as there were many spots in this match that left you going, "What the hell?" The Maryland State Athletic Commission even fined AEW $10,000 because this match was so brutal. But this match showed that the real Jon Moxley was out to play, and he was going to destroy anyone that was in his path. This feud between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega continues later down the road, and I'll get to it soon. But in the meantime, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't, because it helps with the algorithm. But anyway, the next feud that Jon Moxley entered into was against Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho formed the new faction, Inner Circle, on the debut episode of AEW's Dynamite, and he basically saw that Moxley was a dangerous man on the come up, so he decided to offer Moxley a place in the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho offered Jon Moxley a 4GT, which is about $500,000, and 49% ownership in the Inner Circle LLC. This was quite a sweet deal, to be honest, so Jon Moxley accepted Chris Jericho's offer for about 5 minutes.
Hey, I would have took the car too. I would have just took the car. It probably was already his car, but I would have took the car and dipped out on him.
He said that he was just joking by joining the Inner Circle, and he broke a bottle of champagne over Chris Jericho's head, and he laid out the Inner Circle afterwards, and he stole the key to the 4GT. After Chris Jericho got the keys to his $500,000 car stolen, he must have been like, a little bit of the sadness. And the following week, Chris Jericho was so enraged by what happened that he stabbed Jon Moxley in the eye with one of the spikes from his jacket. And Jon Moxley sold this injury by wearing an eye patch for a while. And Jon Moxley basically got his revenge by stabbing Santana of the Inner Circle in the eye, which caused him also to wear an eye patch. And this led to the first ever eye for an eye match between Santana of the Inner Circle and Jon Moxley. And this match was appropriately named because both of them were victims of eye attacks at the hands of the other. Santana lost this eye for an eye match, and in the following week, the Inner Circle introduced the hired gun, Jeff Cobb, to challenge Jon Moxley, and Moxley eventually ended up beating Jeff Cobb in a match. Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley's feud culminated at AEW's Revolution 2020 for the AEW's World's Heavyweight Championship. And it was a solid match, but the most memorable spot was when Jon Moxley took off his eye patch to reveal that his eye has healed, and he finished off Jericho for the 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley winning the AEW World Championship was really satisfying to see, because it felt so good seeing someone who's gone through so much bullshit in WWE making it in a place that is other than WWE and on a huge stage. Jon Moxley was on top of the world and was hot as holy hell. It seemed like nothing could go wrong with Moxley at the forefront of AEW as the world champion. That is, until the pandemic happened. The pandemic halted a lot of Moxley's momentum, as he wasn't featured heavily on Dynamite in the early pandemic episodes because of traveling issues. Jon Moxley has this unique skill to bounce off the crowd, and he has this electrifying synergy with the audience that is difficult to put into words, but with fans gone, the synergy was lost. And this was evident in his first title defense in his first match back against Jake Hager. This match was 30 minutes long, and honestly, it wasn't very good, mainly because the eerie atmosphere of Daily's Place engulfed the match, and fans weren't accustomed to this. This match was basically like this.
Half Nelson, and gets a 3 count.
But Jon Moxley's passion for wrestling still shone through, as he had this brooding, feral intensity that you could still feel through your TV screens while watching at home. And this helped to elevate the AEW World Championship to new heights, even while being slap bang in the middle of a pandemic. Jon Moxley then entered into a feud with Brodie Lee, and this feud was good for what it was, as it was a classic story of the
RP Brodie Lee in the chat. RP Brodie Lee.
lone wolf against a pack of hyenas, and Brodie Lee even stole the
Or you could call him Luke Harper in the chat. RP.
AEW World Championship at some point. And this feud culminated at AEW's Double or Nothing 2020 in an entertaining match where Jon Moxley got the win. Jon Moxley then defended the title against a series of opponents that he helped to elevate, like Brian Cage at Fyter Fest, which was a really good match, and Darby Allin on AEW Dynamite. Jon Moxley's defense against Darby Allin was a storytelling masterpiece, and it went off the story that they told in their first match in the early AEW Dynamite episodes, as Darby played the role of a prideful and somewhat arrogant young kid who refuses to back down against.
I did one of these story time videos on Darby Allin. Go watch it. It's like 2 videos ago. Go watch that.
Any challenge, even if there's a big possibility that he's going to get burnt. And Jon Moxley played the role of the grizzly old timer who is reluctant to teach the young kid a lesson, but he will have to do so if the young kid messes with him. And Darby Allin did mess with Jon Moxley, so Jon Moxley taught him a lesson. And after Jon Moxley beat Darby Allin, he held Darby's lifeless body in his arms, almost like saying, sorry it had to come to this. It was kind of like one of those sad death scenes from the movies. During all of this, Jon Moxley was in a feud with MJF, and this feud really showed how good MJF was on the mic, especially in his State of AEW address, where he was doing a presidential-like campaign to be the AEW World Champion. MJF said that Jon Moxley was a dictator, and he made Jon Moxley sign a contract that said that he would not be able to use the paradigm shift at AEW's All Out. But in a turn of events, Jon Moxley did end up using the paradigm shift to finish off MJF at AEW's All Out 2020. And this was a very solid match. This feud really did wonders for MJF, as it showed how precocious he really was and how capable he was at a main event level. Jon Moxley then defended his title against The Butcher and Lance Archer, but one of the greatest feuds of Jon Moxley's run with the AEW World Championship was with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston participated in a casino battle royale at AEW's All Out 2020, at which he was never eliminated, so that's how he got his first match for the AEW World Championship against Jon Moxley. And Eddie Kingston lost this match by passing out, and the referee stopped the match because Eddie Kingston could literally not tap out. And this led to Eddie and Moxley deciding to have an I Quit match at AEW's Full Gear 2020. And in the build up to this I Quit match, this is where the feud really shone bright, as this promo segment between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston was just pure gold. In this promo segment, Eddie Kingston laments how he sold out just like Jon Moxley, and he did it all in an effort to become world champion. And Jon Moxley says that he never thought that he'd get burned by his old-time friend Eddie Kingston. And he reminds Eddie how he ate at his mom's kitchen table. And the look on Eddie's face after Jon Moxley mentioned his mother was priceless.
It was at this moment he knew he fucked up.
Uh-oh. I'm gonna whoop your ass.
But anyway, this led to their match at Full Gear, and this match was hard-hitting and bloody as expected. And the finish was awesome, as Eddie Kingston muttered the words "I quit" after Jon Moxley put him in a bulldog chokehold with barbed wire around his arm. At the same pay-per-view, a demon from the past in the form of a newly heel Kenny Omega came running back, as he won the AEW Men's Eliminator Tournament, which meant that he was entitled to a World Championship shot. So he confronted Jon Moxley after he won his match against Eddie Kingston. And this set a match in early December for AEW's Winter is Coming, and this was a special episode of AEW Dynamite. Jon Moxley unfortunately couldn't exercise the demon from his past, and he lost the World Championship to Kenny Omega, ending his title reign at 277 days. But honestly, Jon Moxley's title reign was iconic, and I am of the belief that nobody in AEW could have carried the title better than him through the pandemic. It never ever felt like Moxley was just doing it for a check. It felt like Moxley really wanted to be there and make AEW work, despite all the obstacles. But anyway, Jon Moxley kept on feuding with Kenny Omega, and in a tag match in the build-up for the rubber match at Revolution, Kenta from New Japan Pro Wrestling showed up to attack Moxley, who was the holder of the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship, and this opened up the forbidden door. Kenta showing up to AEW was massive, and it was all because of Jon Moxley, as he was the driving force behind the Forbidden Door being broken down. And I'll explain more in a Story So Far video on the Forbidden Door in the future. And by the way, let me know what other Story So Far videos on which wrestlers you'd like to see in the comments. But anyway, to finish Moxley off, Kenny Omega proposed that they have an exploding barbed wire death match. So Kenny Omega got to work on building the evil structure, and his and Jon Moxley's feud culminated at AEW's Revolution 2021 for the AEW's World's Championship in an exploding barbed wire death match. And there was a lot of pressure on this match because
somebody send me a version of this, and that is not by AEW. Because if it's by AEW, it's gonna get blocked instantly. But if somebody can find one of these videos of this match, I mean, I got a little bit of it, some of the OMG videos that I reacted to, but I want to actually watch the match. Matter of fact, yeah, I want to watch the match. Somebody find it. I'll react to it if it's not by AEW. If it is by AEW, I'm not gonna waste it because they're just gonna block it. Speaking of being blocked, my video of MJF and CM Punk best or better than you. That video was a 50-minute video I reacted to. Got blocked for copyrights. I've been working on getting it up for y'all. It was up. It was up. I finally got all of the copyrighted parts out of it. Then it got taken down again for another copyright part that I didn't take out, I guess. So it's being worked on. It'll probably be up by the time you see this, hopefully. But I apologize for those that requested that video and are not going to get the full video because copyright reasons. But let's get back into this. I went off track.
Type of match hadn't really been seen in the USA, and the match itself was actually really good, but to be totally honest, the finish sucked. There's an old saying in wrestling that goes that people only remember the finish, and this rang true as the finish of the match was the only thing that people could talk about online for the next few days. But right before the botched explosion, Eddie Kingston came out for the save, and by the way, Eddie Kingston sold that explosion like a king. But because he came out for the save for Jon Moxley, it rekindled their friendship, and they formed a tag team. And Moxley and Eddie's tag team is a perfect partnership in many ways because they have a unique bounciness and playfulness with each other that is underlined with a ruthless aggression. Eddie and Jon Moxley's tag team is a match made in heaven because they're real life buddies and they both have a realness and a rawness that is unmatched. And the crowd loves this, so they are superb baby faces. Ever since Eddie and Mox started teaming, they picked up a lot of wins and they started feuding with the Young Bucks. And their feud with the Young Bucks was really entertaining, as Mox and Eddie even stole the Young Bucks sneakers at one point. But this feud culminated in a tag team match at AEW's first ever full capacity show in almost 500 days at AEW's Double or Nothing 2021 for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And Eddie and Mox and the Young Bucks absolutely tore the house down, and it was one of the best matches of the night and was totally fitting for the first pay-per-view with fans back. And Jon Moxley is the Forbidden Door. He even said it himself.
I am the freaking Forbidden Door.
So since he's lost the AEW's World Heavyweight Championship, he defended the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship on AEW television versus Yuji Nagata, Carl Anderson, and Lance Archer, and Moxley put over the latter in a huge fashion in the Texas Death Match. And ever since then, Jon Moxley has faced New Japan's top stars like Satoshi Kojima at AEW's All Out, and most recently, Minoru Suzuki. And Jon Moxley more than likely wants the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship back very soon. So I have a funny feeling that one of these days we're going to see him in a match versus the ace Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is the current holder of the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship. And right now it seems like AEW is the cool place to be, as AEW's climate is filled with new signees that were huge in WWE, like CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, Adam Cole, and more. But let's not forget that Jon Moxley was one of the first huge stars of WWE to jump ship to AEW. So basically he didn't hop on a trend when he joined AEW, and he took a massive risk when he did this. He put his career and reputation on the line because, quite frankly, there were no guarantees that AEW would succeed. But despite knowing all of this, he still chose to sign to AEW, and Jon Moxley has legitimized AEW as a company and caused the wrestling world to further take notice of AEW and take them as a serious threat to WWE. Jon Moxley wasn't part of the people who started the wrestling revolution, but he's one of the wrestling revolution's most important figures, as he's a symbol for going against the grain and doing what you have to do for the sake and the love for pro wrestling. And that's why he's the heart and soul of AEW. Thank you for watching the video.
Hey man, if you like this video, y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the like button for me. Comment down below what you want me to react to next. Ooh, who was that? Like the video, subscribe if you're new. Your boy D Riv, man.